You're listening to Grad Malaysia's TMI podcast.
Hello, listeners, and welcome back to another episode of Grad Malaysia's TMI podcast. Today's episode is gonna be a quick bite. These quick bite episodes are shorter ones, jam-packed with tips and info to get you through your work week or whenever you're pressed for time. This first one is sure to be a relatable one. Have you ever felt the Monday blues? Even if you've never experienced it yourself, you've definitely heard of the term being tossed around frequently, both among students dreading their Monday classes as well as those of us still getting used to being adults in the working world. Monday blues are when you feel down at the start of the week. You might feel anxious, depressed, or have a sense of dread about Mondays. Dragging yourself back to the working week after a 2-day break can feel like a chore, all the more so if you're unhappy with your job. While it isn't a medical term, more researchers, especially those in the field of psychology, have taken up research into this weekly phenomenon. A similar phenomenon is called the Sunday scaries, or Monday scaries, whichever you prefer, referring to that uneasy feeling you get on a Sunday night when you realize that the weekend is ending soon. While the Monday blues have become a running joke among working people, it can actually have serious implications to your quality of life and your work performance, as it can make you less motivated, productive, creative, and engaged. It can also make you more pessimistic, and nobody wants to be around a negative Nancy. Monday blues can be contagious too, as having just one downer sharing their gloomy outlook for the week is all it takes for the rest of the team's mood to deteriorate. In the end, everyone is going to be dragging their feet around in the workplace. Interestingly, some studies have found that this feeling isn't always tied to the length of the weekend and number of working days, as even those who only enter the workplace once a week can find themselves dragging their feet to work. So while adjusting working hours might help to alleviate the problem a little bit, there's still no guarantee that it can be solved altogether. In many cases, there's always some other underlying issue causing the Monday blues that have yet to be identified and resolved. Among the reasons are maybe dreading returning to a job you dislike or feeling burnt out from it, even if you really enjoy the job. You might also be fearing someone or feeling unsafe at your workplace. This is usually the case when you're in a highly competitive environment, or if you're stuck in a place where there is bullying, harassment, and even sexual harassment happening. In this case, immediate action has to be taken in order to make the working environment a safer place or to remove yourself from that situation altogether. You might also find that you're facing the Monday blues if you have a looming deadline, presentation, or other important events in the coming week. A strong feeling of dread or nervousness could be what's causing you to procrastinate or hope that the day never arrives. Perhaps there's a big concert or some other event that you're really looking forward to that sadly falls on a working day. Hence, you're facing FOMO for missing out on this event that you were really looking forward to just because you are now a responsible working adult. Did you find that you didn't manage to get your chores done or complete some personal projects that you really wanted to get to over the weekend? Feeling like your weekend just wasn't enough to do what you really wanted to do might be a reason why you might now have a grudge about having to work so many days of the week. Some parents, especially those with really young children, might also feel like they're missing out time with their kids, as the weekends might be the only time they truly get to spend with their children in most cases. And of course, a general feeling of low career satisfaction, such as feeling that you're stuck in a rut or not really progressing much in your current workplace, might also be a big contributor to feeling the Monday blues. A mundane lifestyle is rarely an enjoyable one. If you consistently dread returning to work and find yourself living for the weekend, then it may be worth taking a closer look at your current position and identifying the cause of your dread as well as how to overcome it. Even a job you really love can leave you feeling burned out if you're taking on too much or facing stresses that are out of your control. Reassessing your role doesn't have to mean a drastic career change though, or even looking for a new job in your field. Simply redistributing your current responsibilities, your working hours, your current working schedule, or even your mindset may be enough to make things feel more manageable. So, here are some of the steps you may take in order to overcome these Monday blues. The first step, of course, is to identify the problem. Is it just your general workload, or is it a specific responsibility, project, or a person? Or does the whole environment make you feel stressed and unsafe? Once you've identified the reason, coming up with a solution can be a much easier step. There are few things in the world that can't be solved with proper preparation, and advanced preparation can definitely help to alleviate some of your Monday blues. Preparing for your Monday meetings and presentations in advance can drastically improve your mood for the Monday mornings. You can do so by preparing yourself physically and mentally on a Sunday night, or better yet, the Friday before. While it may be very tempting to slack off on a Friday just so you can squeeze in some extra weekend time or just prepare yourself for a chill weekend, you would really thank yourself if you could get most of your work done on a Friday in preparation for the coming week. It is also best to reserve your after work hours and weekends for you time. The more often you drag your work back home or after working hours or even over the weekends, the more likely it is to become a habit, which will only increase your stress and feeling of Monday blues, as your work life and personal life have now started to bleed together. One of my colleagues shared that she dedicates Friday evenings to begin winding down and preparing for the week ahead. On Saturdays, she takes some personal self-love time to rest and rejuvenate from the previous week. And then on Sundays, she absolutely must go out and get her energy up again so the weekend inertia doesn't set in on Monday. This might be an approach that works for you too, so do give it a try. Also, as a general rule, try setting your mind to complete the heaviest tasks first thing in the morning. Once that's out of the way, the satisfaction of a job well done will keep you motivated for your other tasks and keep you going for the rest of the day and week. Inversely, if that doesn't work for you, try to keep your Mondays light instead. This works much easier by getting most of your important tasks done the Friday before or by scheduling the heavy stuff to be done on the middle days. On the night before your work week begins, it can be a good practice to make a mental list of the things you're really looking forward to in the coming week instead of the ones that you're not. Choosing to focus on the positive instead of the negative can be a great solution regardless of your problems. If you're truly dreading something big that's happening in the coming week, it may be a good idea to distract yourself from thoughts of work over the weekend. So focus on your hobbies, doing things you love, or spending time with loved ones to get your mind off of the work week until you're truly ready to face it. Another important step to preparing in advance to face a working week is to be well rested. Avoid going for tiring activities or staying out late at night on a Sunday to avoid yourself from being tired or lacking sleep to face your Monday. Once your work week has actually arrived, wear your favorite clothes and accessories and put on some makeup. Maybe you could even take and post a selfie if you can. If this feels like you're maybe fishing for compliments, yes, that's exactly what you're doing. Receiving compliments can be a great way to immediately improve your mood. As long as you're dressed appropriately and according to the dress code, there's nothing wrong with pampering yourself. And in fact, taking the effort to actually dress up can be a great form of motivation. This is a technique that I personally applied back when I was still a student, and I had to face an 8 a.m. class that was 3 hours long. Knowing that I couldn't accidentally miss those classes too often, I decided to try putting effort into dressing up for it and pretending that I actually cared about the class. You'd be surprised at how effective that method was, so give it a go. Another method to start your Mondays off right is by treating yourself, either by getting your favorite beverage, meals, or sweet treats on the way to work. Maybe even bring some in for your colleagues to lift their spirits as well. Monday blues can be contagious, so avoid negative topics or negative people in your workplace. Have and practice a positive mindset, even when faced with someone who is more pessimistic. You can also make others happy by bringing in treats for them, as mentioned before, by sharing happy stories of what you did over the weekend, talking about things you're looking forward to in the week, or just handing out some compliments. Not only does sharing kindness improve your own mood, but it's going to lift the spirits and productivity of the entire team before you begin the real work. Stop living for the weekends. You can enjoy the weekdays too. Try to sprinkle in some fun activities with your colleagues or friends who live nearby to add some excitement into your weekdays too. Seeing as this is the Ramadan month, this is the best time for you to visit the Ramadan Bazaar or iftar with your colleagues and friends. You can also catch up on your chores and hobbies in small chunks after work and avoid putting them off for the weekends, so you don't feel like you're rushing to get a million things done on your 2 days of rest. So now that you know the causes of the Monday blues and some of the ways to overcome them, find our episode post on our social media channels and share with us how you overcome the Monday blues, or which of these methods you're going to try out. Thank you for listening to this Quick Bites episode, and I hope you found the information in it useful. Catch you in the next episode. Bye! Thank you for listening to another episode of Grad Malaysia's TMI podcast. Don't forget to check out our website, gradmalaysia.com, for more career guide articles and ebooks, as well as new job and internship openings. Follow us on social media too for even more career tips and fun content. That's GradMalaysia.